Do you remember that whole thing I said? If you complain enough, my husband just kind of gets it done. Well, he really wants to get it done. He would like to have his third day off actually be a third day off. So his goal today was to wake me up at the ass crack of 6 o'clock and try to get done as much as we can. So I'm thrilled. Here I have my Flatline Vanco FVC roof rack. My husband wants to install it while I do some finishing touches on the floor. He only has 3 days off and he wants to get her done. So this is heavy. You know, now that my husband has taken over, that means I will probably be able to take some sort of maiden voyage trip soon. And because the funds are running a little low, it seems like I definitely will have to go bare bones for the first couple trips, which I'm mad at. I don't know if you've seen my videos camping in my Forester, but I would say that's pretty bare bones. Really wrap this thing up. They said nothing is breaking on our watch. I couldn't remember what side of the camera I did it on. $2,000. Well, yes, my husband is helping. I am also working. I'm putting polyurethane on my floorboards and we're getting those simultaneously loaded in. This is a very busy 3 days off for my husband and I. We are accomplishing so much in this time period. Well, yes, it is great to work alone. When you are experiencing burnout, it is a tremendous help to have a second set of hands and someone who's pushing the project forward. And if I'm being honest, I think my family was over having my solar panels and my roof rack hogging up the main entrance to the house.
Here comes the fun part. She paid $2,000 for this logo.
Being Betsy here, I bought it because I didn't have to drill any holes into my van and I thought that was valuable.
Look at it, look at it, look at it.
So, how's it going?
Well, just a lot of little pieces and the workspace is interesting.
All right, Mr. Grumpy Gills, here I come. I'm gonna be on this side, so you'll be on that side.
Okay, we'll slide it, yeah. That's too much, there you go.
Anyway, so he's asking for support so I can hold up and line this up.
You see those two holes?
The other side.
These two holes. Just hold that there. And then,
do they go on the bottom or the, oh, they go in the center. There we go. All right, well, I'm gonna do the math.
it's terrifying me how, like, there's no extra.
That's 934.9 distance away from the.
Well, in a ironic twist of events, of foreshadowing, we are left with one screw and 2 holes, and it has started raining, so...
Again, raining again.
So I am not able to show you, but I'm gonna email Flatline and ask if they can send out an additional screw, because we were short. My husband was very cautious to not lose any screws, because he was fearful that they only sent the exact amount, which is what they did, and we are still short one. So I will keep you updated.
think it's roughly 24 hours since we last filmed, and I just received an email from Frontline Vanco. Thank you for reaching out. We do have a hardware pack we can send you, which will include all the screws and washers needed to install. Unfortunately, we do not split our hardware packs. We would be more than happy to send this out to you. However, if you are just looking for one screw, it is a 1/4 20 flange head screw you can find at any local hardware store. If you would like us to send you the kit, we totally can. Just let us know. So that sounds like they're gonna charge me, so I ain't gonna do that. Right, babe? That sounds like they're gonna charge me? Yeah.
Yep.
It charged me for a screw I didn't lose. Right? You didn't lose. You ain't about to make me look dumb on the internet, right?
I don't lose screws.
My ego's another. Moved on from the flooring, and we have also put on the roof rack. We're gonna go ahead and get the solar panels on, and everything is just gonna kind of tumbleweed into itself. We got the Renogy 300-watt solar panels. It's also come to our attention that we have rust spots from when we cut out the Max Air fan, and I scrubbed the vehicle many times. Now, this would have been so much easier if we could have built the entire frame on the floor and had a team of 5 or 6 people to lift it up onto the roof. But there's a lot of finessing that's involved here to get the spacing of the solar panels and the spacing of the beams correct. Decided to do our solar system is to put the brackets on the solar panels to get everything fitted, get our brackets or crossbars in place, and then remove the brackets and put the brackets into the track here for the T-nuts. Oh, what's the plan right now, you ask? Well, we've got one solar panel installed, which means before we can move on, we need to install our solar gland. Why is it called a solar gland? No clue. I hate the name of it. But right now, I'm opening up my package of 10-foot, 12-gauge solar panel extension cables, because that's what's gonna go through my roof. And this baggie, I went to Ace Hardware, bought a rubber grommet, so that way I don't cut the cables when they're in my vehicle. What I'm testing now is to see which rubber grommet fits best. We want to go smaller. That fits pretty good, buddy. Are you getting that? That fits pretty nice. So we're going to go with that one. This one is going to have less room. More room, I mean. Honestly, they look like the same size. Who am I? The only thing I'm afraid of is this might not fit the solar panels, but it's got to work. If it doesn't, I'm going to be peeved. What I'm going to do now is just look at the roof. Looking. Figure out a general area that I can come through. So I know I want to come down in this general area. So I just need to be able to see what I'm looking at from the roof. So I'm going to follow this area down. Open my door. So I know I want to be somewhere in here. What's on my roof right here? The solar panel extends to somewhere around here. So I need to be somewhere in this region. And I'm using the roof rack to leverage my weight. Everything is slippery. What did I say? 3 or 4 inches away from somewhere in this ballpark. I'm gonna have the glands face this way, and there's a little bit of a gap. I would say it's just over 1/4 inch.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's real nice. All right, so I'm just gonna get this area cleaned up and hopefully none of this happens again. But you can see right down into the cab. Look at those beautiful floors. Very nice, very nice. I can't remember if these are from me or these are from the previous owner. But regardless, I don't like it. It's very responsible of me. There's metal shavings all over the floor. I probably should have put it like a Ziploc bag to catch, but did I? No. This is the bit that needs to go in the hole. I keep these upstairs. That's gonna get. Need to go ahead and leave these up here. I'm gonna leave about 5 feet. Just shimmy those on over. Get those out of my way. Run these through here. All right, here we go. The worst part's already over. Do a little CPR on this bad boy. We're gonna go under it, to the side. Try to create a seal and a little bit of a pad. I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. We use the rest of the lap sealant. This is the same tube that I used for the Max Air fan. So what my husband was wanting to do was to mount the T-nuts to the bracket, set those in place, and then bring the solar panel up. I don't think that's the best course of action. We're struggling to get the angle just right. So I am gonna set all of the solar panels with their appropriate bracket and placement and bring it up to the roof. Put the lock nut, put the T-lock nut in the channel and go from there. So the issue outside that I'm gonna run into is my first solar panel is already on the roof and there's already Loctite on it, which is not fun for me. And with the way that the channels are set up, I'll put a little insert here, there's only one point of entry for the lock nut. Once the lock nut is kind of in place, it's kind of hard to get it back out. So my plan is, because they're just a little bit loose, is to take the brackets that are already in the channel and just slide them to the appropriate place and mount the solar panel differently and put the brackets in the correct place. The track, this is the only place to get all of these in. And I also want to put both brackets on one track. Slightly lift this. Lazily down. I need a total of 4 more to go in here. And drop. And slide. The T-nut doesn't sit flush in the channel. So trying to get it threaded at the right angle is going to be my demise. And this is the main reason, because we're not going to have access to this once the solar panel's here. This little hole is the main reason that we are putting the T-nuts first and bringing it up to the roof with the bracket on. With this project came a lot of undoing, redoing, undoing, redoing.
I can't tell you how many times I screwed in and unscrewed each solar panel to get the fit just right. So I would say that this project requires a lot of patience and a lot of pre-planning, which I thought I did, but apparently I didn't do enough. Bicep curl, bicep curl, bicep curls. Leverage. Very cool.
Up next, SpongeBob SquarePants.
That's what I'm talking about. Builder's high. Thing on runners. You know what I mean? With the runner's high. Runner has ain't got nothing on builder's high. This is a crazy feeling. Upstairs, we have a female positive. It's not plugged into anything because it shouldn't be. On this end, I need the female to turn into a... The female needs to turn into... Needs to stay a female because my Blue Eddy power bank solar charger cable is a male. I mean... Yeah, that makes sense. I'm coming from a female, turning into a male, going into a female, into the power bank. Okay, work. I no longer need this. Okay, let's pick up where I left off. My 12 gauge wire, I've got what looks to be a 12 gauge wire stripper. Oh, yeah. Shy of a half an inch is more than enough to wire your Mc4 connector. A Bougie RV wire crimper. So the way my brain works is I do all the heavy lifting for a project the day before, and then I just set myself up so I don't have to think about it too much. Because if I think about it too much, I fuck up. So I have to trust past Betsy that she did enough research to be able to successfully do this. I just have to trust myself. How am I supposed to get my hands up in there? Go into the extension cable. Here's our first real plug-in. It's intuitive. Wow. Here it is. Okay. I gotta pass through this side here. I'm gonna connect those two. Okay, positive from the second is gonna go into the negative of the first. That's wired in series, baby. We'll worry about zip tying everything later and getting it posh. My negative from the second, and then this is my negative that's gonna go into my extension. This, I need to reposition this second pole so that way this is wide enough for a solar panel to fit. I didn't take into account is how wide these brackets and these beams set you and the configuration of my roof model that I made in Illustrator. So I only have this much space on the back end. So don't think I'm gonna have space for an extra max air fan or a air conditioner unless I drop down to 2 solar panels. Is this the right spot? This looks like the right spot. Just like that, I am putting in the last 2 screws with some thread lock that came directly from Flatline Co.
The last panel is wired in series. The negative is going into the negative extension cable, and the positive is going into the negative of the middle panel, because that's how you wire things in series. I am not professional advice. I am just strictly telling you what I'm doing and what might be working for me. So there are plenty of other channels on YouTube to get actual guidance. I'm just showing you what worked for me. Oh, and then from Flatline Co., they, just to touch base on this roof rack, they said that they would send me out a whole packet of 1/4-inch screws to go on the end. I just went to Ace Hardware and I picked up a silver 1/4-inch screw, and that silver 1/4-inch screw is a smaller Allen head, but luckily this Allen head for these screws fits the replacement, and that's what that looks like. This is the replacement. Just like that, the solar on my roof is complete. If you were to try to do 600 watts of solar, I'd maybe recommend doing a 2 100 panels up front and then skipping on this back panel. But this is what I chose to do. This is the outcome. If you want to prioritize aesthetics over functionality, I would really recommend this roof rack. But if you want to do functionality, I would go through and get your own 80/20 series and build it out yourself.
So I just went on a few errands after installing my solar panels, and holy crap, the difference in temperature on the roof is insane. Like here, where there's no solar panels, right? Like we have like this much of no solar panels, you can feel the heat difference. It's scorched right there. Here, no. Here, it's totally different. Like between here and this first support where most of the solar panels are, it's almost like cool to the touch. Like there's such a significant difference now that there's solar panels on the roof. It's insane.